My name is Tuesday Browell. I'm a mother of 3, a grandmother of 6, an auntie and a senior citizen. I've got a card for that. I live on the Murray River. I have lived on the Murray River since 1980 when I came to Echuca, or Barham, to build the paddle steamer Emmylou. I've been a TAFE College principal for 32 years, and I'm now a small farm citrus grower and essential oil distiller in Turrumbry near Echuca. I've travelled and lived in many countries of the world, and I've seen many, many rivers. As a Murray-Darling Basin community member who lives and breathes the river, I'm angry, I'm frustrated and appalled at the current state of our wetlands and rivers in the Murray-Darling Basin. At school, I learnt about rivers just as children do today. I learnt that rivers flow from the source to the sea. I learnt that they evaporate and that this evaporation makes rain. I learnt that the water from rivers and wetlands seeps into the surrounding earth and creates habitat for all the little critters. I learnt that nature is imperative and intrinsic to human life. This was basic science. Today, we have a government that thinks otherwise. A government that is openly and corruptly changing the face of our water landscape to suit a few. In my area, farmers are desperate for water to grow crops. There's zero allocation for water for farmers to survive unless they're large shareholder corporations. Yet large volumes of water, huge amounts of water, are heading straight past us, past our properties to somewhere. And we're asking, where is the somewhere? Because we don't know where that somewhere is. We cannot afford to water our crops or to feed our animals, and many farmers are depressed and some are suiciding. Landholders are leaving their land, communities are dying, and people's culture and history is being taken away to serve a few. I'm here to say that this greed, inequity and corruption has to stop. I know graziers who've had death threats, farmers who are fighting each other, towns that are petitioning or pitting against each other, environmentalists are being battered and verbally annihilated, and common landowners such as myself have nowhere to go. We have farmers against environmentalists, irrigators against farmers, and this is a result of the divide and conquer strategy, and it's working. We're all frustrated, depressed and angry at a government that cares only for the rich who donate to their political parties. And this will stop. 1.8 million youth are calling for change to the way that we govern our planet. That means that there's 3.6 million grandparents that are supporting them. And I'm one of the proud grandparents. Australia is a young and troubled country, and we were foolish to think that we were lucky. Actually, Australia is an ancient continent that had a balanced natural world until the lucky young ones arrived and started to think like English farmers and American crop growers. We've dammed, we've altered, piped, manoeuvred nature until she no longer looks like she was. 80% of Australia's wetlands are now diminished. We have a multi-state water plan that is not working. We have unmeasured floodplain harvesting, over-allocation of water to irrigations, and we have water theft. The latest news is that the dry Darling River now owes 600 gigalitres of water to irrigators due to carry on over water allocation. This is against all common sense and slaps the face of Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that states everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of his family and himself. Menindee, Walgett and every town below Burke has little or no water, or water that is unfit for human consumption. We have not even considered farming for Australian conditions. We've merely copied crops from where many of the lucky ones came from. We lack initiative and we lack the ability to talk to country. Many can balk at my statement, but saying that they've got the latest technology, the most effective and efficient farming and world-class engineering crops. Well, I don't agree. There are crops that need to be stopped, and there are crops that need to be realised. And the potential to farm Australian native crops is still laying dormant. I'm here today because I want my grandchildren to swim in the Darling River and to see the most wonderful Menindee lakes. I'm here to say that it is not right that a few heartless and morally corrupt politicians can decide to rearrange Australia's nature and stop a river from flowing. It's wrong, and they're eroding our natural world. They're stopping our rivers from providing nourishment to thousands and thousands of people who live on her. They're stopping landowners from growing their livelihoods, and they're stopping millions of people from admiring her, and they're stopping the wildlife from living on, in and around her. The Darling, the Colgoa, the Barwon, the Namoy and others are slowly dying. Rivers are our First Nations people creation stories, where the Mother of Life created the lands, the animals and the people. I lament over the disintegration of their laws. I cry inside for the animals, the reptiles, the insects who are suffering at the hands of our elected representatives. I'm ashamed that we have all been complicit in the acts of greed, gluttony, pride and lust that is killing our natural world, and that we allow a few to profit whilst others perish. Our politics is responsible for the death of millions of fish, toxic water and the current demise of our wetlands. Pipelines are being disguised as water for towns, when in reality they are for mining magnates. Chinese companies are building Chinese pipelines to send water to towns that built cities such as Sydney and Melbourne. The pretence is arrogant. Even though I live on the Murray, down near Echuca, what these politicians are doing directly affects me and my community and my part of country. Our rivers are connected and they are not separate. Our rivers rely on each other to be healthy. People of the Murray-Darling Basin are connected through the rivers and the wetlands, and we say it has to stop. So I say bring on a Royal Commission, get the plan working and bring each state to account, because rivers must flow. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Sorry?
Could we get a copy of your
Yes.
as well, if you'd like to share that?
Yes.
That'd be terrific to have on the website. I'm sure people would like to share that.
Yeah.
Can I just ask,
Yes.
if you live down further south, what brought you to BrokenHill today?
I'm actually running distilling workshops here,
Oh, excellent.
and as part of the BrokenHill Art Exchange for the Desert Equinox.
Well, thank you for coming in. And can I ask, do you have conversations with your children about the water? Do they understand what's happening?
Yes.
How do they feel about it?
I have children that range from 44 to 25, and it is a difficult conversation to have. They're so busy surviving, trying to get the deposit for a house or raising their children, living day to day, that I think if we talk too much about it, they get depressed. It's depressing, and it makes you sad, because when you start to look here in Australia, what we're doing here, it then magnifies, and then you go, oh my God, it's happening there, it's there, it's there, it's there. There's so much corruption and greed, it makes you depressed and wants you to cry, it makes you cry. So we have short conversations, like the first gentleman, just talk quickly about it and go, just to log in to make sure that you know that it's happening and that change, and I'm saying change is coming. It has to come. It can't not come.
And what keeps you positive? What do you think can happen now?
I think tomorrow for New South Wales, hopefully New South Wales will lead the way and show the rest of Australia that things can change and get rid of the corruption and greed. That there are 1.8 million youth marching for our planet, and that is growing, and that it's the Australian Youth Climate Council, those sorts of groups, they inspire me. And as a grandmother, I'm here to support them because I can't do it on my own. So I think it's great that they give me inspiration.